Number 5, relating to people in the context of fellowship, evangelism, and service. Appreciate people as precious beings created in the image of God. Learn to look at every single person as precious. I don't care how deformed they are. I don't care how mentally damaged they are. I don't care how depraved they are, because sin has gotten them. How demon-possessed they are. Look at them with compassion, with the eyes of God. And that's what you did in the mission field when you saw that homeless person. You went out, reached out to that person with food and love and prayer, and you administered even healing to that person, right? But if you went with judgment, that person would have had no hope. But you went with no judgment because you went with the heart of God. Okay? Heart of God has compassion for the prodigal to come back home to Him. Amen. So we need to focus on the heart of loving others' personhood. Focus on Christ's presence within and on the other. Okay? And submit to your authority figures out of reverence for the Lord. That's important too. Respect the authority figures here at school, in the society, in the church, and so forth. Identify with God's heart toward those under your authority. Now, if you're in authority like I am, professor, then I also have to identify with God's heart towards you, my students. I can't be oppressive. I can't be just authoritarian and like a dictator. That's not what I want to do. I want to know the heart of God for you guys as my students, as my sheep. Okay? And we need to show compassion to those strangers in our midst, especially strangers, those people who are neglected, those people who are kind of sidelined. Even in this campus, there are students like that, because they look kind of weird, or they kind of behave weird. And so everybody's like, and they go to their little cliques, and they're having they're giggling, and even in the dining room I see, even in the cafeteria I see people just clustered, or I see some real lonely person sitting all by themselves. Yeah. One time I was the lonely person, professor, because people don't usually want to hang around professors too much, so I felt like I was sitting all by myself. Nobody came and noticed me. Even AI just didn't, all of them, they were all abandoning me little by little, and they felt really bad. But can we go now? Of course we did. I didn't mind, but deep down inside, oh gosh. I said, I'm not coming to the student section anymore, but I got professor section, Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I got was, this feeling like, wait a minute, if I, a professor, can feel this way, what about somebody who's nobody in this school, just all by themselves at the corner? Never neglect anybody out there who's feeling like they're strangers or who are marginalized. Please, that's your heart. I tell my daughters, and especially my young one, which I try to mentor her, if you see any kid in your school who are bullied or neglected, or who nobody is watching, you be the first. And she does. She has the sense enough to think outside of herself. We're growing up in a very selfish society. It's all about us. Even the church has become selfish. Even AIJS can become selfish. And I'm talking to the president of AIJS student body, so maybe he can take this idea and say, you know what? I'm going to make it my policy that as long as I'm the president of the student body, not a single person will be left behind, like the Marines, say. Not a single wounded person will be left behind, okay? Not a single person will be marginalized. Please operate like that and see what happens. Miracle will happen, okay?